Hello! Thank you, Samsung, for having a camera that is not super zoomed in like the Apple iPad's camera. What I'm doing here is putting in a new couple of windows in my 1925 Craftsman bungalow in Portland. I am replacing my double hung windows, really just replacing the sashes, with a whole window from Marvin. It's an integrity fiberglass window with wood cladding. It is just so much easier to use a Samsung phone for this. Don't ever try to use an iPad. Doesn't work. So, these are good windows. Excited about it. They're inserts, so you just kind of follow their directions, but it's a lot easier to have a bit of a video to show what's going on with this specific home style and Craftsman window. So basically you pull out the sashes. These are the sashes. I pulled one out. There they are, sitting there on the dog bed. To do that, you score a line at that seam, not that seam, as I mistakenly did earlier, but this seam all the way up, and you pull those trim pieces out. They look like this, pulled out. As you can see, they taper to a fine edge there, and that fine edge is this. So you pull those out, you score a line on the paint so that you release that sort of glued seal, and then get a putty knife underneath there and pry them out. I also used a chisel to help with that. Chisel is naturally going to be able to pry a little bit better because of that thick bevel. So you pull those out. You still can't get the sash out because you have a track here that it runs along. So once you pull that out, you'll see this track. You pry the bottom of the track off of these tacked fasteners, and then you can basically just yank it down with a pair of pliers. These are super useful throughout this demo project, if you will. So I just grab the rail there and pull down after pulling out. So basically, I mean, I can kind of show you. You just pull out like that. Once you've got this out, pull out like that and then pull down. Your result will be, you know, something like this, or even something like this all bent up, because when you pull it out, you're gonna have to bend it to clear the sill there. So once you've got that out, you end up with a loose sash, and you've got to chop off the lines which are attached to the weights. I've tied them off there, but ultimately I'm gonna have to just let these lines get pulled down into the jam space with the weight, and somehow I'm gonna have to get rid of this pulley, because this is, you know, the new window is gonna be pretty tied up against the jam here. I don't think there's space for those pulleys in the new window shim space. So now I've got this sash out. Then you got to get this sash out, the upper sash out. And to do that, you want to end up with this mortise joint exposed. And to get that, you have to pull this out. This piece of wood, which looks like this once you've got it out. So it just fits in like this. And to get it out, you basically just have to score a line at the seam where the face of this wood meets the corner of this piece, score a line on this side and this side, and then pull out with your nifty pliers. So we've got this out and this out to get this sash out, this lower sash, and then score a line on either side of this, pull this out. Don't forget to score a line at the base, the bottom, because that's basically a glued joint. You know, the paint creates a pretty tight connection. So you've got to score around the base too, and then you can pull this thing out all the way up to the top, and then you can get the upper sash out. And you will have a gaping hole in which to put your new window. And I don't know if you can hear, but this is a loud street freeway over there, so the idea is that we'll get some more sound isolation out of these killer new windows.